Take me out to the ball
And we're
game.
live.
Oh, geez. Thanks for the countdown.
You're welcome. I figured everyone
Love
wanted to
it.
hear your singing.
You're up to bat.
Please, I know I'm hot, but will you? Does the screen door lock?
Welcome to another evening of Dungeons and Dad Jokes, where we are all over the place as usual. Oh my
More than
goodness.
usual, actually.
More than usual. All right. Do check out our website, danddadjokes.com. We've got lots of events in there. Rhonda's got one coming up in mid-May, so check it out at Bowling Green Con, right? And so check out that calendar of events, those of you that are especially in the tri-state area or on the East Coast. If you're going to be in the area, or in Bowling Green especially, check it out. I think we don't really have a whole lot of announcements. If you're watching us live, be sure to subscribe, join in the chat. There's a couple of us that watch that. I do not. I got too much other stuff to look at. But we do have a couple of us that are in there checking that out, and we'll chat with you. Other than that, I think we can just get going. Am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything.
Nope.
All right. Let's go ahead and get going on tonight's episode, which is 65, number 65, entitled Escape.
Bingo.
Bingo. In 65.
Bingo.
It'd be 065. Anyway.
Oh, 65. I don't play bingo. All right. What happened last week? Oh, my goodness. Last week. Yeah, some things happened last week. You managed to take out Reproot and Zahn, the governor or mayor of Uxthan, and free some of the slaves that were down in the Colosseum, because this fight took place in the Colosseum. After searching the bodies, you did find a couple of letters and some magical items. The letters, one was a writ from Duranet V, the former Amber Pope. The other one was a small note that just said, item in the Skyfields based on research, signed EK. Unsure who EK is. You made your way through the town and back to the Methic estate, and there you hid out for the evening. After learning some things about how the estates are handled once, all of the family is gone, Fix decides that Forsyth should write up a couple of letters of note, and keeping one and sending one off to be planted into Reproot's office to have a debt be paid once the estate is taken care of. Evangeline also was able to pull off a magical bracelet from the Illithid and learn that it was a suppression. It was like a magical suppression that when closed would be activated. And she managed to unlock it, pull it off without causing any damage to the magical effect. And she wrapped that up and slid that down into her bag. She also decided to draw with magical ink again, focusing on Reproot. This time she drew the orc, Garen the Wild, whom Forsyth recognized, as well as Jorn, who was with them, recognized. He was holding the spear that Jorn currently has, and it seemed to be that he was standing in Forsyth's hometown of White Lake. Evangeline kind of focused on this picture, did not feel herself get pulled into it, even though she did see the lake itself seem to shimmer and move a little bit, but she did not feel herself being pulled into that picture. She tried once again with the picture of the bones, and Fix had to pull her out again, as usual. Evangeline's going to just turn up missing one night. I just feel it. Ulros, one of Methic's servants, was sent out to find out some more information, as several guards were moving about the city. Alarms were ringing. And what Ulrus came back with was descriptions of the attackers of the Colosseum, which matched Fix, Evangeline, Kadeth, and Forsyth's human form that he had been in when he saw Lady Studani. The group decided did begin to discuss her trustworthiness, but didn't really come to any conclusion, bedded down for the evening, and had some rest. Early in the morning, as people were beginning to stir, Gavin suddenly appeared next to Evangeline. After talking with him a little bit, they learned that he was with Gara in her basement. Gidna was there. Gidna had actually spoke to him and reminded him of a stone that he had that would get him back home immediately. And he also relayed that Gara called, or Gidna actually mentioned that the beetle that was in her was referred to as Darling. Gara referred to it as Darling. But he had escaped with his life, barely, as he did have wounds on his back where Gara was actually beginning to pull out his spine. Kadeth took the moment to scry on the blood that would still be on Gara's hand, and when he was watching, saw that she had gathered some of the water blood mixture into a vial, took it next and took it down to the basement, set it next to a set of daggers and a jagged dream pendant. And then she turned and addressed Gidna as his scrying was leaving and addressed her as Darling. It is morning time in the Methic estate, and you are upstairs, or at least some of you. Not all of you are up. Well, all of you might be upstairs, but not everybody is upstairs. With Gavian, and Evangeline's kind of fooling around. No, you're not fooling around with your book this morning. That was all last night, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. With Gavian, who is definitely looking exhausted, pale, even though you have healed him to some degree, he is still needs rest, or at least he looks like he needs rest. Breakfast is being prepared, and Lord and Lady Methic are stirring and coming down. It is morning. What do you do?
Lord Methic, have you heard word if the documents have been securely placed?
Illifin did return last night. She did not speak to me last night. I'm sure she will mention it tomorrow or this morning. Since she has returned, I imagine she was successful.
Okay. At this point, through the link, I will relay that I think we should get all of the saved slaves to be out of here via teleport, and we stay and confront the accusations. We met with the lady the night before. We told her why we were here. We were here to collect on a debt for the Trenton estate. She is now using this as a power ploy to enrich herself.
Over the link, I will say, or secure the position that you wish for her to be in.
I have a question.
Putting us in the prison was not part of that. Yes, Foresight.
Since they're not looking for me, do you want me to lead the prisoners out?
No,
Get
because
them
they're
where
still
they need
looking
to
for
go?
they're still looking for the prisoners, and I want no chance that they are spotted or anything
Yeah,
odd
but
is spotted.
I can windwalk them out of here. The question remains, since they're not particularly focused on me, they don't know who I am.
But they're
I could get
focused
them
on
out
the
of here.
prisoners. And if
Yeah, but
somebody has wow.
That was kind of loud.
Yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead.
How many can you actually windwalk at once? So,
10 plus myself.
and how many are there?
11.
Okay.
But if
But that
anybody has
includes
the
us.
ability, such as yourself, they will be able to see their true form.
Right.
This way, no one sees anything. And we don't have to worry about taking them anywhere. They will be taken to that city is where I'm thinking, where those of differences are welcomed, and then they can go
Yeah, but
along their way.
connecting them with someone in that city to take care of them as they
I-
get their feet under them.
Their
Could be an
care
important
after that
thing.
is not our concern. We have saved them from this
Shouldn't it
plight.
be?
We have saved them from this plight. They can go home from there.
Yeah, but we don't know what plight awaits them if we send them off with no understanding or protection. Just putting in my
I believe two of them
2
will
copper
go.
pieces.
Will stay with Joyve.
Okay.
The others, I do not know of these, whatever they are. The one who had the suppression bracelet on. I do not know where his home is.
He actually did tell you it was
Oh, did he?
Kataris. Yeah,
Kataris.
that he was from Kataris.
They're
Which
all
is
here, right?
Well, they're all down in the basement. They didn't come up with you because you
Gotcha.
pulled Gavian out to talk with him kind of privately. All of you guys followed, I assumed, but
Staying by Gavian's side while he rests because he needs to recover.
yeah, he's passing out really fast, like on the bidet or whatever. What is not a bidet? What is that called? The chase lounge.
Passing out
I
on
know
the
he's passing out on the toilet. The chase lounge. I mean, he would do that too at this point, but
I'll get him a pillow. I'll make him comfortable. I'm going to pull out the book and the quill, and I'm going to commune.
okay. Kadeth, you unmuted. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. Do we know the current situation in that city? Because I thought there was a bunch of unrest, and that's why was Gavian the one that was there, or was it one of the other siblings?
You are correct on both accounts. Gavian was there
Okay.
because he was outside the city watching Onasa, which he was taken from. And Brumond is inside the city in place of Gidna because Gidna turned up missing.
But Brumon is
Right.
now back at the estate, correct?
Mm-mm, not that you're
I,
aware of.
I thought we had him come back, or was that Dolrin?
Well, Dolrin is back for sure.
Okay.
You had Dolrin leave Bolreg because of information.
And
Right,
the
but
other
my
one,
point
the
was-
longer name was already there.
Vaneth.
My point was
Thank
that
you.
there's unrest in that city, so do we really want to send them there?
Is there another city you can think of where a tiefling would be welcomed?
Thrice?
Probably Thrice would be the best bet, I'm guessing. But I don't know. Or the forest.
Has anybody considered asking them where they want to go?
The problem is there's only a limited amount of
Sending them one by one would
transportations.
be difficult.
Right.
We could do it in 2 groups. Not comfortable, but we could do it. But to send them, as individually is impossible.
So other than
or
the
very
two
time
that
consuming.
other than the two that know Dreve and Zybella, or at least Dreve, how many were there?
There were 3 others, a tiefling, an orc, and the illithid. Kurtaris, if checking a map, is literally between the Ba'adenu forest and the Black Riage. He's like right there.
And then we also have the orc shaman.
Oh, and Jorn. Yep, Jorn is from the north, almost directly north of Kurtaris, just on the other, well, quite a bit north, but it is a straight north path. And the other orc, probably from a similar region. The tiefling, you're not sure where he's from.
I'd go and ask him.
Oh, okay.
Now you got to figure it out.
How dare you? Aradius.
Where is that at?
Oh no, that's his name, Aradius.
Radius. Okay.
Aradius is his name. You come to talk to him, and he says, "Well, I was born and raised near the Austin Woods. That is a
Where would you
T,
like
right?
to be? Where would you like to return to?
I'm not sure that that's a T. I mean, to be fair, I've kind of traveled all over the place. I was taken from south near the Ba-Dunu forest, but I'm pretty okay with being teleported anywhere away from the city. I
Thrice
am
makes sense.
fairly traveled, so no matter where you drop me off, I'll be able to find my next place of destination.
So we can send him to Thrice. I would then ask the Mind Flayer, whose name I forget, where
Zek.
would Zek feel comfortable going to Thrice?
Mm. Zek will respond to you telepathically that most west of the Black Riage do not trust illithids, and would quickly dispatch. Of course, I have means to protect myself now, but
We don't want to start fights.
yeah, I'd rather be east of the Black Riage if at all possible, and then I can make my way home.
Where's your home?
Kataris.
Where is that at?
It's literally between the Ba'adinu and the Black Riage.
Okay. Oh,
And
I see it
uh,
now. Okay. I
Yeah,
was
and the
just
it's in
Ba-
telling
that
you.
little cove there.
I
the
could actually would the others accept going to Kataris?
Ah, the tiefling doesn't care. The two orcs are like, well, put us anywhere east of the Black Riage. We can make our way back north. It's easy to follow the mountain range.
Then maybe Kataris is where we ought to ship the whole lot.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Jurek says, or you can send them to the Ba'adinu. You can send them right home to Ephraimon if you want.
Well,
That
We'll
I
will
get
don't
them
be
think
up
off
to
everybody
north.
would be.
Zybella.
I don't think they'd all be at home there.
No, but
Oh,
they
But
could
if
no,
we
they
leave.
would all
sent
go
them,
home from there.
yeah, if we sent them, yeah, Ephraimon would actually put them near enough to go to Kataris or to anywhere else in the east from there. So yeah, Ephraim's a bigger city that gives more opportunity for people to
We
how
could,
should I put it, hide themselves.
yeah. Well, and I can see to it that they are supplied to get home.
Okay,
I'll look.
then all for Ephraim.
I'll look to Jerk, and then I'll look to the other and say, "No offense." I'll look back to him and say, "Do you trust them there?"
I mean, it's a whole city of my people against the three of them. Should they try something? Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to try anything. I think they're just going to go home.
All right. With that, I will nod, and I will reach out to Zybella through the circlet.
Okay. In the meantime, Evangeline, you're communing. Where are you communing? You just going to sit right there on the floor?
Yep, right
Next
next to Gavian.
next to the snoring guy. At this point, he's probably snoring. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay. I work all the time with the forge going.
This is true. All right. You lay out the book. You get the sim. You get like a candle. You light a candle, and you get your quill. You get the book. You open it up, and you begin to commune through the book. You feel yourself kind of almost lifted a little bit, like you're lighter than air almost.
Okay. I'm going to ask. When I made the drawing with the ink from Niliesh, the others could see it. Was that by your permission?
It is a median foreign to my pages.
Would you prefer I not use that ink in the book?
It will fade with time.
Are you a jealous god?
Without others, knowledge is not easily acquired.
Evangeline wants to become polydeity.
Going from somebody who didn't even believe in gods, I want them all. And it's a 3-question thing, right?
I think so. That's what I
Yeah.
was going down here to look.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay. You will feel yourself kind of gently placed back on the ground, although you're pretty sure you never actually left your body or that your body was actually floating. But that's what it feels like, that you're gently placed back down on the ground and the candle blows out. And you come to.
I'll close the book and I'll put the quill down.
All right. Fix.
Yes.
You feel yourself connect to Zybella.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's quite early. It's barely even breakfast.
Well, but it's before breakfast, yes. Sorry to wake you and bother you so early, but have a bit of a situation. I need you to have Dreve come and pick up some people.
Very well. Are you, is it safe?
For the brief moment, I believe so, but that can change quickly.
I'll get on that then. I imagine you want me to stay.
I would never presume to tell you what to do.
Wise man.
And that depends on if things went pear-shaped, if you would be able to or willing to utilize your gift to protect yourself.
I mean, if it came to it, I imagine I'd use it as a last resort.
Then if you wish to join, then I would be pleased with your company.
Something tells me you're not going to stick around there for long, though. And neither would Joy Vey.
No. But definitely won't be coming home straight away, I don't believe.
Very well.
You sound disappointed.
Well, yeah. But I understand. Joy Vey will be there shortly.
Thank you.
After a little bit of time, you see some servants taking some food to gathering it together and whatnot, getting it down into the basement where most of everybody else is staying at the moment. Lord Methic says the table is available if you would like to sit at the table, have some breakfast. He'll kind of motion to Gavian. Is like, he can just lay there. He can sleep. Give him as much rest as he can before he has to move again.
Your runner. May we speak with her?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And he'll kind of motion over to Ulrus, who is there, and say, go find Elephant, see if she's awake. And he'll disappear for a while. In a little bit, Elephant will come back with Ulrus, and she's put together. And she says, you wish to see me?
How did your delivery go?
Unnoticed?
Did you notice anything strange?
Uh, no, I wasn't really looking for anything, so nothing was standing out. It's an office. There's business stuff.
Good. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
And sorry to interrupt your rest.
Oh no, you are fine. It was time for me to get up anyway. And she'll give you a little nod and trot off. Looks like she's going off to do some chores and whatnot. Um, Lord Methic brings in like a plate and kind of sets it by the chase lounge where Gavian's asleep, and sets it just down on a table. It's like, it's there for when he wakes up. You see Nebros come in from outside and looks at Lord Methic and sees that you guys are also in the room. He says, I suppose you should all hear this. I have been about town for a little while, just gathering some supplies for the kitchen. And I am definitely seeing a group of guards going house to house. They are checking.
Do you know what they are checking for specifically?
I am pretty sure they're checking for anybody who's harboring the attackers. He kind of motions to you, or the escaped slaves.
Besides a rough description, do they have anything else on who we are?
No, it is simply a description. No names, no abilities.
Interesting.
What is the
I
key
can always answer the door.
description?
They're not looking for me.
Well, they're also not looking for anybody in the Mythic estate at the moment.
Right.
Right.
What are the key descriptions?
He kind of rattles off like height, hair color, wear, your clothes, the plate mail, the leather, the construct, basic physical descriptions. Nothing too detailed, like there's no eye color. It would basically be like something that she could have seen from about 50 feet away, and quickly.
Mhm. Thank you. Over the link. She was here the night before. She saw us. If it was us, then we ask why did she not call it out and rather allowed a search based on a rough description? She would have recognized us.
Could be that she doesn't want us caught.
Perhaps. I think that
Or maybe she understands our ability and knows that even if we're found, we won't stay caught long.
If at all.
perhaps.
Perhaps because to have the trust of the people, she needs to describe what other people saw. She wasn't the only one in the Colosseum.
There
True.
is that.
True too.
But why did she not call out who we were? Why did she employ this ruse?
Well, doing the most she can to avoid being too specific.
To be specific, might allude to her inclusion or her knowledge that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Essentially,
To
I don't want
not-
to run.
to not describe what others saw would look like she's trying to cover it up.
I mean, most people tend to cover their own butts first.
There is that.
If she were out to get us, she would have sent the guard straight to where she knew we were.
Yeah.
As much as I hate running, I think we may need to depart and come back at a later time.
I wonder if she feels like she'd be implicating
Possible.
herself if she turned us in.
Or send my sister to collect. Okay. I'll let the people we rescued know to be ready.
All right. They will kind of gather themselves together. What? They don't have anything. I guess Elkian's still holding the sword. After a little bit, Joyvey will pop up next to you, Fix, with pocket watch in hand.
Glad
She will.
that could come in handy.
It has come in quite handy, apparently. There are some that I need to take elsewhere.
Yes. Then I'll gather them up.
She immediately recognized Elkian and Jurek and says, "We were too long gone from Baadinu, were we not?" Elkian says, "It would have happened anyway. I was out hunting by myself." Not always a wise choice.
Take them to. Oh, shit. My brain just.
I will take them to Ephraimon.
Ephraimon, yes. And I need you to take my brother home. And I'll look at Evangeline with a no, he's not coming with us look. I don't want my brother to die.
Hey, your brother has gotten himself out of many a scrap.
Yes.
Yeah, but not at our.
With his spine still attacked.
He is without armor.
He is without armor.
And weapons.
Mhm.
Ah,
Very well. I
How
can
goes
take
the
him home.
preparations at the estate?
The wards are in place.
Then I want my family to stay in place as well.
Very well. I will remain there, just in case aid is needed.
Both of you should remain there.
I can convince her to do that if Elkian goes to Elframod.
Thank you.
She will gather everybody by Gavian, because she ain't carrying Gavian. And she will do her ritual and encourage everybody else to step out of the teleportation. And
Sure enough.
poof, they are gone. All 5 of the slaves, as well as Gavian.
Forsyth, are you ready to get out of here?
Let's go.
I will thank the Lord and Lady of the house for their hospitality and tell them to let me know if anything arises from
we
this.
should make sure there's no evidence of our being here.
That too.
We were never here.
You were never
We're
here.
still not all here.
Very well. Take care. Stay safe. Hold on.
Oh,
I hear a scratch on a door. I'm not sure what's going on. Give me a minute.
It's Chuck. No.
Oh, it sure is.
Actually, it's the dogs at my door.
Yeah.
That's because Daddy came home with food.
You didn't need to let them in. You could have just locked them in your room.
I could have, but then they'll just scratch at my door.
I'm out of food, guys.
Then it becomes a you thing and not a me thing.
God. All right. So yeah,
And-
they're gone.
before we leave, I will let Lord Methig know. And when you see her, let her know that if she does not keep to our bargain, that what happened to
History
Vaughn,
will repeat itself.
history will repeat itself in a much more unpleasant fashion.
I will let her know. We'll take care of any evidence that is left behind. Safe travels.
Thank you. I'll look to Forsyth.
Okay, how do you want to do this? We
As a
going wind
cloud.
walking?
Oh yeah.
Ah, no problem. And Forsyth will get us all away from the building, but out of sight of everyone, and he will cast wind walk.
All right. You all turn into gaseous clouds, and boy, does it stink.
Oh wait, not that kind. Never mind.
All right, you fly up into the air, and as you're leaving, you do see guards coming down the street. Looks like they might hit Methic's house, a few houses, within a few houses. And you definitely see servants milling about at Methic's estate. They seem to be just kind of combing everything to make sure there is no evidence.
How long does this last, Forsyth?
Let me take
An
a
hour?
look. When,
Isn't it based on level,
Wave
though?
Walk is
The
8
time?
hours.
8
Yeah.
hours.
Oh, okay.
8 hours.
And we're
So
essentially
300 feet.
clouds.
Yes.
We are essentially flying clouds.
Yep. You get up into the sky high enough to not be seen as low level fog because it is not foggy.
And until the spell ends, the creature cannot revert to cloud form. Okay, yeah, reverting takes 1 minute.
Yep.
So we could
So
sit here and observe as clouds.
correct.
I would
And
like
no
to
one
do
would
that.
know the difference.
All right. You're going to watch.
Mhm.
After a little bit of time, you will see the guards come into Methic's estate. They will knock on the door. Neberos will answer. You will see Neberos answer. And then he will kind of bow to them and usher them inside. Don't really see what's going on inside. And after about 15 minutes or so, you continue to watch the estate. The guards come back out with Lord and Lady Methic, and they bow to them. The guards bow to them, and you can hear them. They'll say, please pardon our intrusion. We thank you for your cooperation, and they'll turn and walk away.
Did they spend more time in that house than the others? Of
They didn't
similar
seem
size?
to.
Okay.
Not necessarily. I mean, obviously, the smaller the estate, the shorter time they
Right.
spend. But no, they didn't seem to be disproportionate in any way.
Then off we go. Where are we heading, folks?
What was next on our list?
Evangeline, you've done all the notes. Now's your chance to speak up.
I'm gonna pull up the
We've
map
dealt with-
and double check there.
We've dealt with the follower of Cyric. We've sort of dealt with Strolduck.
Sort of.
We've
Let's see.
now dealt with Reproot.
We're in what city?
You're out. You were
Outside
leaving Uxfin,
Buxton. Okay.
Right.
which is west of the Black
Strolduck
Riage, up
is
north.
kind of
In flux.
in flux, but kind of
Dealt
okay.
with.
I'll be on your
Mhm.
side. We
Didn't
don't
we
have
need
to
go?
worry about Renio. Right now, he has enough problems with the fact that he can't tell any lies. Reproot is dead. That leaves Isabella Harak
Yep.
Where's she at?
and Gara. Harak is in cruddy. Hold on.
I know where Forsyth encountered Harak, but I don't know that I ever told you an
Yeah.
actual home of Harak.
Do we know that Forsyth is acquainted with her?
Yeah, I think you said so, didn't you?
I would have mentioned something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forsyth, two things.
She was in Bedrove.
Yeah, that's where Forsyth encountered her.
The Grove?
Right.
He
The
actually
Bedrove,
went
it's,
there to meet her.
Mm-hmm.
It's near the Westwoods.
Oh, okay.
Two questions for you, Forsyth. First question
answers.
is, can you arrange a meeting with Isabella?
I suppose I could, if she will meet with us.
The second question is, will you have issue if she has to be dealt with the same way that Reproot was?
Evil is evil. If she turns to be evil, I have no trouble dealing with that. If she doesn't, well, yeah, that would be a different story. But let's see which way she weighs out, and
Absolutely.
we will deal with it based on how she reacts to what we have to say. But I believe I can get her to meet with us.
Do we know who she may worship?
I'm unaware.
Yes.
No, No, we do know.
Oh, we do know?
Yes,
You
I
do
have
know.
it right here.
I have to look
One of
back
the
up
other
again,
guys told
but
us.
yes.
Somebody
Okay, yeah.
told us.
Reneo, because
Reneo
he
told
couldn't
That's
us.
fly.
That's right. I was gonna say I knew somebody told us.
Episode 54.
Aro.
I have
Oh,
a whole
that's
bunch
right.
of notes.
Aro, that you delivered that snowflake
Yes.
pendant to her.
Yes.
Right.
What do we know of this god?
Well, you killed one of Aro's avatars in the frozen temple.
So it probably doesn't like us. But then that seems to be going around a lot.
I'm
So
okay with
we
being
deal.
unliked.
I am too. We deal with what we have to.
Okay, if we leave immediately, we can get to Bedrove, or we can get a couple hours outside of Bedrove before Windwalk drops.
Right. 8 hours would take us head towards
Basically, we can go 34 miles an hour is what
right.
we're doing right now. So
And
Oh,
I
and
will.
I'm assuming we're moving while we're talking
Oh
since we
yeah.
have
Oh
the
yeah.
What's at the Amber Monolith? Do we need anything there? Because that's on the way.
we can always
You
come
don't
back
know.
to that.
You don't
Well,
know
I'm just saying we can drop in there.
because
And
to remind you of some things, there are lots of open ends right now.
Uh-huh.
There
Right.
is, you have the rune card, which you think is associated with these 5 at the moment. You also have the void card, but you're not
True.
quite sure what's going on there. You have the rest of the 5 to deal with. You have the fallen cities. You have the ruined cities. You have, which is all part of that 16. You have the 2 notes. One is a writ from Duranet the Fifth that
Nobody's looked at yet.
nobody's really looked at or read. And you have the simple note that says the items in the Skyfield. Whoever EK is has found the item. So you have lots of loose ends to tackle if
With
you
the sky
whichever
fields,
direction you want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we are really close to the sky fields right now.
True.
Like closer than we are to Bedrove.
Right. Do you want to hit the Skyfields first and then move south from there?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because the reality is we're not time crunched to get
There was
to
a
Bedrove.
one of the cities was in
Yeah, right
the
now
sky
no
fields,
word
right?
has gotten out that Reputed is dead yet.
Let's
Do
see,
what? What about the Skyfields?
There's one of the ruins or one of the old cities was there, right?
Yep, one of the old cities. I don't
Yeah,
remember which one.
Yagaril.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was trying to get to. Yeah, number 3,
Yagaril.
Yagaril. So
Yagaril.
if we head
Natomi and Tabukan are also on our way to Bedrove.
if we head west northwest, we can go to Yagaril. We can be there before Windwalk drops.
We could be there before noon.
It's only about 200 miles or so.
So 4 hours travel.
Yeah, about 200 miles.
Or 6
6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours travel. Yeah. So before dinner time.
Yeah, easily. So we want to head that way?
It might be a wise thing to do.
So obviously can't see expressions as a cloud.
You can hear them.
Yeah, you can feel
Sometimes
them. I
it comes
suppose.
through in
And we're talking over the link, I would assume, anyways.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. There's definitely you at least feel or hear a bit of contention in Fix's voice because, and as long as you all have been traveling together, you would probably realize that his thought is, I need to kill Gira so they stop threatening my family, or she stops threatening my family.
I
But
agree.
also realizing this may lead to that, maybe a means to that end. So I am agreeable to go to the Skyfields. It seems this is linked somehow, but I do not wish to linger.
It's all connected.
It's all on the bingo board.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So you're heading to the Skyfields.
Correct.
And as we're traveling, I'm going to focus on my siblings that are not at the manor and essentially send a message of when safe, get home.
That leaves, well, there's Gavian, who is at
Well, he's
Joyve's
gonna be home.
mercy at the moment.
Yeah.
And Brumon. Who else is still out?
The one that starts with a V?
Vineth? No, he's
Vineth.
there. He's
Oh,
the
he's
one
there.
that saved your mom.
Oh, okay. Then it's just Brumon, I would assume.
So I think it's just Brumon still. All right. You begin to travel across the crystal sky fields, and as you start to really get into the depth of the sky fields, you will begin to see lots of sparkly shards of what looks like crystals kind of just floating through the air. The shards themselves are rather large. They range anywhere from a good 2 feet across to half a mile across. Like, some of the shards are absolutely enormous, some of them not quite as big. And you begin to fly over, and you're flying above them, and you just kind of see them floating and drifting. You kind of get, this is why that's called the cloud crystals. Cloud crystal sky fields.
And they're so pretty.
They are, they're very pretty. And you fly over and you begin to see that as they kind of separate and shift, you do see a little bit of sparkle on the ground where it looks like pieces of shard has been broken off and fallen. Those little pieces are, they kind of, from your high up, they just kind of look like glitter dust almost. You speculate that they are probably much smaller, maybe fist size, maybe even as small as like a splinter. Like, and they're just catching the light of the sun in such a way that it almost looks like glitter dust across everything. As
Are
you
there any
travel,
patterns?
it does not look like from above, it doesn't look like there are really any paths. You do see every now and then, because when it breaks up, it's a barren field almost underneath. So there's no real trodden grass or clearings or anything like that. It's just kind of a barren wasteland underneath the shards. But every now and then you do
we
catch
see that monolith?
Off in the distance. Every now and then you'll catch where the shards kind of separate. You'll see what looks like an encampment, almost like a couple of tents, a wagon, and you can't really see any people, but that's big enough to kind of catch a glimpse of. It at the very least breaks up the shimmer. You see a little dull spot over there, and you see a little dull spot over there, and you'll see a little dull spot over there. And most of these look like camps or whatever, but eventually you kind of come to what looks like a ruin, a building of sorts. It almost looks like a building. You can't really tell from this distance.
Okay, I suggest we find somewhere near this campsite, but not in it, to descend.
Agreed.
Every now and then you have to say, "Hey, Fix, pay attention to me."
Definitely.
Eyes on me.
He'll start veering off to the side a little bit.
It's a long drop.
Hey, he's got 24-hour connection with Zybella. He's going to use it to his full advantage.
Absolutely.
Was that Fix or Brownie?
It's definitely Fix.
He's gobsmacked. This is his first real crush.
So we're landed.
Okay. So you find a place away from the darker spots. Do you want to go toward the building-esque or toward one of the encampments?
Towards one of the encampments, I believe.
Is that everybody's agreed on that?
Yep.
All right. You head off toward one of the encampments and kind of land far enough away that you won't draw too much of attention and change back to form, but close enough that it's not going to take you too terrible long to walk there. So you begin to walk that direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. As you walk that direction, as you get closer, you do see a couple of tents, a wagon. It looks like a couple of people just hanging out at a small fire. It's lunchtime-esque. I'm going to say it's about that time because I knew it wouldn't take you very long to reach the Skyfields from Uxvan. And as they begin to see you approach, one of them will stand up and kind of step forward, kind of to put himself between you guys and the rest of the camp, in essence. And he'll say, "Well met, travelers."
Well met.
What brings you to the Skyfields?
Just traveling through. What seems to bring you here?
We harvest the shards.
Oh, for what use?
They can be used in many ways, jewelry and whatnot. It fetches a fair price, or a fair price enough to come up here and risk getting hit by one should it break apart. And all of you actually, because you all deal with some sort of magic or another, all of you can roll me an Arcana.
Arcana.
Arcana. And it is straight Arcana. It is not Numenera, it's Arcana.
22.
Nice.
29.
Nice.
I'm
Foresight is
charisma
not
based,
sitting
not
in his-
intelligence, okay?
I'm trying to get this up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Forsyth has left the city.
Well, the problem is my system had to
I got 19.
open up. 11.
Okay. Evangeline and Fix, you'll know this immediately after having landed and passed through the crystal shards to get to the ground and whatnot. You recognize them beyond a shadow. These shards are often used to hold enchantments. They're used as magical components within spells. They're used sometimes even as like the power source. Very similar to the power source that was in the orrery in Rarmon. They're often used as power sources to push through magic in mechanical things, as well as hold enchantments and used as material components. They can be used essentially like diamonds would be used, but
Interesting.
they're not diamonds. And Kadeth, you're like, you see the clarity of some of these shards, and you know
Mhm.
that some of these shards would probably hold pretty good enchantments. You don't really associate them with the mechanical means, but definitely with how your order handles divine spells and whatnot. You could see them using them like looking glasses or scrying, like scrying crystals,
Right.
things of that nature.
Okay.
Forsyth,
So
you don't.
could be
It's like they're
enchanted.
shards.
Well, they're pretty.
They're pretty.
So the better
They
ones could be
sparkle.
enchanted, but not necessarily all of them.
Yeah, that's what you kind of see. You're like, okay, some of these could actually be used for very good things.
Do you work for anyone, or are you independent?
Oh, we are independent.
Hmm.
We take our best find to key, and from there we branch out.
Interesting. Who do you sell to in Key?
Oh, well, we sell and market mostly. We do have a few people in Key that we, take some to. They're pretty good customers. I mean, I don't feel like I should disclose my customer base. Are you here to harvest shards? I mean, I don't want to give up my customers.
No, he's got family in Key.
Only for myself. Do I
I'll-
see one that's big enough that you could create an orb out of?
Oh yeah, definitely. You've walked by a few that are like fist size. It wouldn't be like an orb, but it would be an orb.
No, I'm thinking more of an
Yeah,
orb.
yeah.
I'll smile and step forward and extend my hand. I'm Lord Trenton of Key.
Oh, Lord Trenson. You are a long way out of Key.
So are you.
Yeah, but I'm not on any council.
Hmm.
You out
My
here
counsel
on
is here.
political business?
I'm out here on family business.
Well, this is the first time I've ever seen a Trenson up here. Uh,
Probably the only
While they're
time you've seen
yakking,
it.
I'm going to go and find me a nice size crystal.
okay.
Have you ever seen a Trenton outside of Key before?
I have seen one in Rarmon.
Oh.
Happened to pass by one in Rarmon before.
I've been there too. Are you? Wait, you're not saying that I can't be out of Key, can you?
And Mulan. No, I mean, my lord, you can travel wherever you'd like. Who am I to put boundaries?
So tell me, have you noticed anything odd, anything out of place, anything extraordinary in these areas?
No, not at all. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've heard there's a city around here that kind of just travels. Um, rumor has it travels on its fallen, but
On its
I
fallen. What do you mean?
there's rumors. I don't know how much stock I put into it that like it's literally on the backs of its fallen people. Like it travels.
A city of purgatory for its fallen citizens.
Kind of, I guess. That's the rumor. I've never seen it. I've been out here a few times. I've never seen it.
Did I by chance hear that?
Probably. You're not going too far. You're listening.
I'm going to find me a piece of crystal, and if I have to, I'm going to try to vortex warp it to me.
Why
I
Okay.
actually
so
want
get
to.
it?
I actually want to look for
Then-
a couple small ones too.
Then
I'm gonna look
when
for
I
some
get it, I'm going to
this
sit
size
on the ground, and I'm going to open my book.
Okay.
I'm going to look for some fist-sized ones that are within range of my palm
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
and pull it like 3 of them.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna be able to pull up 3.
And
seeing
stick them in my
Evangeline
bag.
open her book. I'm gonna be like, 1 second. I'm gonna go and excuse me. I'm gonna tie a rope around Evangeline's waist, make sure it's tight, and then I'm gonna hold on to it and go back to having a conversation.
And I'm going to open to that page,
Okay.
and I'm going to pull out the parchment. And I'm going to
All
look
right.
at that picture. And rather than just look at the actual drawing, I'm going to concentrate on it and think about its location.
Okay. I'm gonna make you roll for this.
Okay.
Roll me percentile and call high or low before you roll.
Hello, hello. Low. Ah! I rolled an 88. I never roll high on my percentile.
All right, you concentrate on its location, and for a minute you kind of feel like maybe it might be near, but then you're just kind of hit with an overwhelming sense of nauseousness. You almost feel like you're gonna puke
Right on your book.
right on your book.
That's interesting. I'm going to look at the skeleton. If I'm going to throw up on anything, I'm going to throw up on him.
Well, the skeleton encompasses this much of the page.
Okay, that means he'll drown. Oh.
Roll me a con check to see if you can hold your lunch, or I guess your breakfast at this point.
I don't even think I ate breakfast. But okay. That's a 16.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. You managed to stifle it back down. The gentleman will introduce himself as Thomas.
Nice to meet you, Thomas. Do you have any particularly nice specimens that you've harvested?
We have a couple. Are you interested in buying?
Yes. I give him a. I wouldn't have asked if I wasn't like like. Look,
Well, he is also of the like. I don't, he doesn't deal directly with the council. People who buy from him are not. They'll send servants or whatever,
right.
Uh, so
Sorry,
he'll.
I'm hands-on. I'm a hands-on lord. Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. He'll lead you kind of to the back of the wagon, and he'll flip up the flap, and you see a couple back in there that's really nice. There's one that's maybe about yay big, about a foot across. Not very wide. It's more elongated. It's about a foot by 6 inches or so, elongated. There's one back in there that's smaller, and almost already a diamond shape, like a princess cut diamond, that is about fist size in there. It's fairly clear. There's another 3 or 4 smaller ones that are maybe silver dollar size in various shapes. Some of them are just real rough chunks. Some of them are a little bit more spherical, almost like they've been worn into almost a circle already.
I walk over there to see what they're doing.
Okay.
Are these things covered and they're uncovering them, or are they just sitting there?
They're uncovering them.
Okay.
I'll take out my jeweler's tools and my little jeweler's monocle thing. I'll start looking at them
Okay.
and examining the clarity and the potential rather than the size.
All right.
I'm going to tell him to put that up on top of the cloth instead of under it.
Hey, Joe.
Okay, he'll
We
pull
are
out
frozen.
some.
we're
No, I'm
frozen.
telling Fix that
Oh, gotcha.
as
One
he's
second,
looking at it to put that diamond
Look.
on top of the cloth,
folks. Give me
make it
one
look
moment.
like it's been covered.
Sounds like we're frozen on the stream. Let me see if I can do something about that.
All right. I'll take your house word for it.
Hold on. It looks like it's working.
I think I hit something on mine, but it was frozen.
Oh,
Okay.
now it says starting soon, but
There's
Oh.
a delay.
No. Hold on. No, you go. I'm on the wrong one.
Oh, well,
Jump me to a different one.
sorry, folks.
been one of those days.
It jumped me to a different one after I told you we were frozen.
Literally all day had been one of those days.
Because we were
Oh.
frozen in the clothes that we have on, and then all of a sudden I realized we changed clothes.
We're just good like
Wait
that.
a minute.
It's magic.
It's magic.
Okay. So yeah,
All right.
this is examining the clarity and the potential of each one, even the small ones.
All right. All of them have potential for sure. The big ones, there are definitely more areas of cloudiness, but there are definitely more areas of clarity. But even the cloudy sections almost give off this opalescent kind of look to it. And it's more opal-ish with iridescent on it. So all of it could be used in some manner. It's just a matter of chiseling out the section that you might want. Really, what do you want it to look like?
What does a haul like this typically bring you?
I mean, it could pay for another trip up here and set us up for a good year. Easy.
So
I mean, we're at the end of our
100
haul.
gold.
Oh, easy, yeah. Sometimes, depending on who needs it, we do sell to the local seer, Giselle, Madame Giselle, and a couple of the jewelers, as well as some of the mages. We can pull in 100 to 300 gold, easy.
Which
on a
one would
trip.
Giselle be most interested in?
Probably the smaller, clearer one.
And when were you going to return?
Oh, we were planning on returning soon, actually. We were at the end of our collection.
Tell you what, you take the entire collection to my home and we'll pay you 300 gold.
Very well. We can do that.
Was there two either that I see that could be polished down to about the same size that are pretty clear, or two of the ones they've got?
You can definitely
They don't
find,
have to be very big, but
yeah, if you don't want them very big, you can definitely find almost within reach two that's going to be about similar. Probably
right,
both
like
of them would be about yay big.
that'd be perfect size, like pool ball size, cue ball size.
Okay, yeah.
Like where they're going to be perfectly clear though when you polish them.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to find a couple.
Okay, because I have an idea. I'll need to find someone who can do it, unless Evangeline can figure out a way to do it, but might be
I think
possible.
both Evangeline and myself are trained in jeweler's tools, so.
Well, the polishing's not the hard part. It's the other part that I had an idea for that is going to be the hard part.
Do you need them to be enchanted?
Yes, in a specific way.
All right.
So,
And I'm
we'll discuss later.
I'll look through what they have, and I'll grab like 5 or 6, just like thumbnails, ones that I can make into thumbnail size, perfectly clear jewels.
Okay. All right. You managed to pick up a small handful. As you kind of set some of those down and you talk with him a little bit, what are you doing, Forsyth?
Okay, as I asked Fix to arrange it so it looked like that the diamond-shaped one had been put away. But as they're walking away, I'm going to take it.
Call forth.
Call for it. Yeah.
All right.
Reach out and touch someone.
Reach out and touch someone. Oh yeah, he is totally engrossed in Fix and listening to him, and like, this is, if he can get in the good graces of the Trinson, he's guaranteed a spot at market all the time, So he's totally fixated on Fix. Pun intended.
Yeah. and then the Trinson family can ask, "Hey, I thought you had a diamond-shaped one."
Yeah.
So you managed to right in your hand and right into your pocket without
Not a problem.
without him noticing for sure.
Yeah.
After he kind of converses with you, he'll come back and start, throwing the covers back over him again, and it's like, all right, do you need escort back to the south, or are you intending on staying in the Skyfields for?
We're good.
I think we're good.
We're good.
Very well. We're probably gonna pack up and head out of here as the sun starts to set. We like to travel at night a little bit more. It's quieter, it's cooler.
Understood.
Understandable.
I look
So,
forward to doing business.
as do I. And he'll go about his business.
I am moving closer into the Skyfield.
Okay.
Seeing as we're tied together, I will follow eventually.
And I'm going to sit cross-legged.
You feel a pull, you get pulled, I don't know, 20, 30 feet, and then she sits down again.
Close my eyes. And in my head, in my mind, I'm going to call out to Savros.
Okay. You kind of feel like you're calling out to a clear sky at the moment.
Okay. I'm going to say, you aided me. Or your followers aided me. Who are devoted to you, I do believe. Before. I feel drawn to call upon you in the things that your followers are most efficient at. I'm asking you for the ability to see things, not everything. Perhaps one of these crystals might aid me.
You will hear very quietly in the back of your mind, for that which was, for that which is, and for that which is to come. And you will see one of the crystals glow just ever so slightly.
Is it within reach?
Yep.
I will reach out and take it.
All right. And when you reach out to take it, you feel it pulse a little bit. And the way it pulses just a little bit, it's almost like, though it's not actually like vibrating in your hand or jerking your hand around or anything, the way you feel it pulse, it feels like almost like a feral creature at this point.
My head. I will say to him, I will learn to use it. I will guard it well. And attempt to use it wisely and not for harm.
You feel just a calmness.
And I'll stand up and I'll turn around and go, oh, I didn't know you were here. I forgot you had me tied up.
Well, I didn't want you disappearing.
I will hold this out and ask Fix to tell me what he sees in my hand.
You see a chunk of crystal? Do you
I'll take my jeweler's
sneezes.
lens.
sneezes?
I'll take out my jeweler's lens and I'll start inspecting it, and I'll like take it from her hand and start turning
Alright.
it over and essentially mapping it out for different shapes and different geometries. And
All right. Roll me your. I'm going to call it a performance check for your jeweler's kit, for your jeweler stuff, so you can see what you can see with this.
The tool
Alright,
check.
so-
The tool check.
Okay. Where did
I
my
only
dice
say
go?
performance because there is no profession anymore.
All right.
Wrong version.
Well,
Yeah,
it's good for him because he is charisma based.
true.
All right. 24.
24, nice. As you're looking at that, it's quite clear in certain angles, and at other angles it starts to look a little foggy. In other angles it actually looks more iridescent and takes on some different colors. It's very weird clarity wise, but as you're looking at it, you are really looking at some of those lines, the minute lines that would tell a jeweler where they could hit it without shattering it, kind of thing. You see that it is actually, the lines are laid out to be perfectly rounded, to make it rounded. It's going to turn into a sphere. It's going to be its best cut as a sphere.
Well, if you're willing to sacrifice some of the clarity and chance some cracks, you could probably do whatever you want, but based on what I'm seeing, you're going to want to make this a sphere.
I will take it back from him and say, I already knew that.
And why did you ask?
For that. brother.
Mm.
I
Through
will
the
just
link,
grin at him and put it in my pocket and collect my stuff because I know they want to leave.
through the link, Evangeline sees an image of Fix throwing the thing as far as he can.
Just wait.
Once I gotta swap batteries.
All right.
Quick, now we can talk about him.
Kadeth, you picked up a couple of stones. You just
Yep.
pocketed those for later.
For the moment, because they're less urgent, but it's
Okay.
one of those things I'll bring it up to Evangeline when we're like going, like when we stop for the night kind of thing tonight.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, so you pocket that. All right. You are in the Skyfields, where the camp is. You're not very far from their camp. They definitely look like they're packing up. They're getting things put away and whatnot. You can see a couple of other dull places kind of toward the horizon a little bit more. You think you could probably walk there and be there mid-afternoon, either one.
As I'm picking up my book, I will look at Fix and say, and I won't open the book. I'll just touch the book and say, I think it might be close, but I can't tell for sure.
Shall we sleep here? Keep an eye out for it. See if it passes through our vicinity.
I'm going to reach into my pocket and I'm going to pull out the cards. We have 2
Okay.
cards, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, 2 unfinished ones.
2 unfinished cards.
Yeah.
I know we have other cards. Do either of them look any different?
The ruin card does seem to have the shadow that was kind of tall, wearing robes kind of thing, appears, or the silhouette appears to no longer be standing. It is now laying down in a chalk outline format.
I will call for Kadeth and Fix and Forsyth to come over and
Okay.
look.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, and I'll do detect magic at the same time while I'm looking.
Okay. You get the same kind of magical feel from the cards. You do sense a new magic kind of coming from Evangeline. You have a divination coming off of Evangeline that beyond her book.
There's something there that wasn't there before.
Yes, there's something there that wasn't there before. And other than that, you get a very sense of magic all around you, just about. It seems to be concentrating further away toward one of the silhouette-like areas. You kind of sense more magic from that location or from that direction. But you can tell that these crystals, they kind of emanate some magic, and it's not any specific school of magic, it doesn't seem.
Which
But
is why
it's,
they're easily
mhm,
enchantable and whatnot.
yeah, they just have a natural magical kind of glow. It's very soft glow. Other than that, you're not sensing any nothing new coming off the cards or anything, but you can see that silhouette laying on the ground. And that silhouette does look very similar to Guron the Wild that Evangeline drew earlier.
Well, now he's just showing up dead everywhere. Hmm. Okay. If nobody else wants to do anything with them, I'll go ahead and put the cards back away.
Can we play solitaire with them?
They're not quite
I
designed for solitaire,
will
but
share that I communed earlier with Denier, and that he did say eventually that drawing would fade. The reason it was visible was because there's magic on the ink that the book that he is unfamiliar with.
Hmm.
When I looked at the picture earlier, I kind of looked at it trying to determine maybe where it was at. I think I want to look at it again. But I'm telling you first for
bless you.
precautionary reasons.
Oh, look, she's giving you warning this time, Fix.
Oh, I haven't undone the rope yet, so that's okay.
I am going to sit because in the sitting position, it's harder to fall than in the kneeling or the standing position. And I'm going to open the book. And I'm going to pull out the parchment and look at the painting.
Okay.
And I want to look into the drawing, rather. I want to look into the drawing.
All right. You start to meditate onto that drawing and start to allow yourself to kind of focus in. Roll me a wisdom save.
I need some bardic inspiration. Oh, I don't have
Wrong
any pluses.
character.
Yeah, 15.
Okay, with a 15, you feel that pull,
How about guidance?
but it's not going to be. You kind of feel yourself pulled a little bit, but you can resist it.
I'm going to keep looking, but I want to not fall in the paint the drawing. But I'm going to try to look a little deeper. See if I glean anything new.
All right. You kind of look a little deeper. You start leaning. She starts leaning toward the book, and you look at it, and it's coming to life. It's beginning to move, and again, you start to get hit with some nauseousness, like you are moving, but you're not moving. You're like sitting on a wave.
And does it look like the whole thing is moving as opposed to just the skeleton?
Well, it's just the skeletons that seem to be moving. They're crawling forward, which is causing the building to
Okay,
shift.
that's what I was
The
asking.
building itself is not necessarily moving.
Right. going to pull myself back out.
Okay. Pull yourself back out of the book. And roll me a percentile. Call high or low.
Low. 24.
24. Just enough. Having interacted with that image, you pull yourself out, and you've got a very localized headache. And as you turn, the pain shifts in your head. And we're going to go to break. We're going to take a quick break.
Week?
Yes, something like
One of the
that.
rap. And we're back.
All right. Welcome back. We are in the cloud crystal skyfields, walking the barren lands that's scattered with smaller shards of the crystals that are from the ones that are floating above that are much larger. And you see upon the horizon a couple of darkened areas where the shimmer is not quite happening. You know there's something over there kind of blocking the shimmer. Evangeline just came out of her meditation, and she has a painful, or no, she was looking at the picture. She came out of the book to, away from the picture, pulled herself away, and now has a headache that seems to be directionally transfixed. Or fixed in a specific direction.
I'm going to
She's a
move
human compass.
in whatever direction I'm going to point out.
All right. As Evangeline starts to move in a specific direction, the rest of you will notice that it is toward one of those darkened areas. Kadeth, specifically, you see that she's moving in the direction of the more concentrated magic.
Still attached to her. I'll follow.
Do you just add
Yeah,
water?
I'll follow.
Just add water. it'll dilute it. All right, you guys follow, and she walks for some time. As you walk, roll me perceptions.
$13.
7.
7.
19. No, that's insight. Oh, yeah, 19.
I have a 14.
14. All right. Fix, you are going to notice this. The rest of you, not so much. I mean, y'all know that you notice that she is walking toward this mass, and everything kind of just looks the same out here. But Fix, you're picking up a little bit that as she's walking, you are slowly drifting. You're not walking in a straight line. It's a very mild curve, kind of to the right, almost as if she's walking towards something that moves.
Is the headache getting any more intense or just the same?
It's the same. I mean, if you turn around and look at your comrades, the pain stays in that direction, so it'll shift wherever it's at.
Okay. Well, we know this thing moves, and I'm assuming that she got some sort of vision or something from her escapades, so I won't mention it.
All right.
Won't feel a need to at this point.
All right. You will continue to go closer and closer, and I would say probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you actually begin to see that what you're coming upon appears to be a ruin. And there is some movement. All of you will kind of see some movement in this ruin. You're not really sure what the movement is. But when you get to about 200 feet, you start to hear whispers. Can't quite make out what they actually say, but you do hear whispers. And I need... No, I don't. The lowest was Kadeth, wasn't it? With a 7?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You trip over a crystal as you're kind of watching and this building and whatnot is just kind of starting to draw your attention. You trip over a crystal. And when you look down, you see a card.
Oh. I'm going to pick up the crystal and the card.
All right. Pick up the crystal and the card. The card appears, it's a really dark background. It almost looks like a night sky. It's almost black with little speckles of white if you look really close. It almost looks like a night sky. But in the middle of it is a white circle. Night sky, white circle, kind of looks like the moon, but it shimmers a little bit more iridescent almost, more like a pearl would.
Okay. Well, since I don't really want to interrupt whatever Evangeline is doing at the moment, I'm just going to hold on to it for the moment.
Okay. You all saw Kadeth trip, of course. You know, he's kind of hard to miss when he trips, but he didn't fall. He just stumbled. Paused a moment. Evangeline, you might not be paying attention to it because you're focused on following the
My
pain.
headache.
But yeah, the other two of you probably would have seen him reach down and pick up whatever he stumbled on, which you assume is a crystal.
Is the crystal anything special?
Doesn't appear to be. Like, there's nothing more extra magic or anything coming off of it than what would normally be.
Okay, like if it doesn't seem to be anything special, like if it doesn't seem like it's going to be a perfect one or anything like that, then I'm just going to toss it to the side and keep
Okay.
moving.
All right. All right, you toss it to the side. It's just a small crystal. It's not clear, that's for
Just the
sure.
one that happened to be there.
So, you continue toward the city?
Yes.
All right. As you begin to move closer, all of you will begin to make out the movement. The movement is in the foundation of the ruins. Every part of a wall that you can tell, every city street or flooring or whatever, as far as you can tell, you see skeletons underneath the city. They seem to be crawling, like they'll reach forward and pull on the ground. And they'll reach forward and pull on the ground. And they're doing it almost in unison. There's maybe about 3 or 4 sets that are doing it in unison so that the building is constantly slowly moving.
And it looks like by drawing.
It looks like you're drawing, yes. You get, as that starts to come into focus, you hear whispers that say, "We'll take you where you'll want to go, but getting out, you'll be too slow." And it's just a constant, real quiet whisper. It gets a little bit louder closer to the city you get.
Is it only her hearing it?
No, all of you will hear this.
Oh.
It's like an ambient noise that's just radiating out of the city.
We may want to be a little cautious about this.
What say your blade?
It's a good question. And Evangeline, are you stopping?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to stop and I'm going to open the book again and I'm going to look at the book.
Before you do too much, I tripped over a crystal back there a minute or two ago. And found this, and I'll hold up the card. I don't know if it's going to be relevant immediately, but you know how these things can be.
Do we have any insight or thought or of what this card may be?
Yeah, especially since we have that other pack that
The other
is the
set?
same set.
You have looked at
Visually.
these cards enough to know that when you were looking at the other ones, you could see the gods symbol on them. This one, as you kind of looking over it, you will see. Oh, I went too far. You will see a sunburst with a skull in the center of it. The symbol that you're seeing on this is a sunburst with a skull in the middle of it.
Like, is that where the white dot is, basically? Or the white
No,
circle?
this is just like where the lines and the filigree and things like that. You've started to be able to recognize that these lines and filigree
Okay.
around the edges of the card, some things on the back of the card and whatnot. You have begun to recognize that some of these things are symbolic of deities, and you've been able to place all of them so far. This one is a sunburst with a skull, and
Who would
I
that be?
believe you guys would recognize it. Because I believe Reneo followed this god.
Oh, this is a
Is
bad
it
guy.
Cyric?
Cyric, yes. Cyric.
Okay. Um,
Based on both Kadath and my own research into the gods, especially like the second, third age,
yeah.
what do we know of this city? Is this like Cyric City, or what is?
What do you know of this city?
With my combination of religion and my history knowledge.
Kind of following your maps, along with all of the study you did in Shaji, as well as all of the study you've done growing up in the monasteries and in the libraries. And Evangeline, you would know this too, because you did all this study as well. You know that there is a very good chance that this is a ruin of a Yagaril. Destroyed in the Second Age, along with the other 7 cities. Well, 6 cities. You found Saji.
Oh,
It was
that's
not
on our
destroyed.
map.
It was teleported.
Okay.
This is Yagaril. You know some history of Yagaril is that it was one of the first major cities to really spring up in the Second Age, or to really embrace the technology and the advancement. It seemed to advance a lot faster than some of the other cities. Shaji was very much on its heels, but this one seemed to inspire a lot of what Saji did. But there was a lot of advancement. It was very quick, both magic and science. It was also one of the first to be destroyed.
It was the third one.
Or the third one. It was the third one to be destroyed. I knew it was up in there.
Nope.
It was the third one to be destroyed. This
It fell right after Filolio.
Filolio. But yeah, this one was destroyed as well. There is some speculation in the library of Saji that This one almost imploded. It was not necessarily destroyed from an outside source, but this one almost imploded. And Yargil is of the crystals. That's what its meaning is of the crystals. You figure it probably advanced fast because of its location. And kind of glancing around, seeing the thickness of the shards and things like that, it's possible that its destruction made the cloud crystal sky fields that much bigger. Roll me history. All of you who studied.
A 21.
Okay.
Wow. I rolled really bad. I only got a 13.
Oh, bummer.
I got a 3.
I got a 3 on the die.
Forsyth says, I don't see any trees.
I got a 16.
16. All right. Fix, Kadeth, and Forsyth, you remember kind of most of everything that I just said about Yargil. And you speculate that, if it actually did implode, that would make sense, that it would make the shards and whatnot expand. Because all of that magic and energy had to go somewhere, right? Evangeline, you vaguely remember that it was almost accepted in Yargil, I think I'm saying it wrong, Yargil, that the system, most of Yargil, I gotta look that up again.
What?
Yagaril.
Yagaril. Most of Yargaril was built with labor force. There was a lot of people who built this city
On rock and roll?
on rock and roll that was aided in some manner with magic when it was necessary, but it was the magic science class, the people who honed their magical skills and high intellect of science, people such as yourself, Evangeline, being an artificer, they were the ruling class of this city. It was high magic, high science, and if you didn't have that level of skill and ability, you were the labor class. You can only do physical labor because, that's what you're built for. That's what you're made for. So it was there was a very distinct separation of the knowledge and the physical. You vaguely remember reading about that, and it was accepted in the Second Age. And you're pretty sure, just from your insight of reading and gleaning, because you rolled over a 20, you're reading and gleaning that you're pretty sure it was accepted because they were making such huge advancements that was actually aiding the other cities, such as Shaji. Thank you for putting that in Discord, so I don't have to look it up again.
Well, I have the map up, so
Yeah.
because I was looking at stuff. Thinking back to the cards that we do have, is there one that this one is the most like, or looks like it's going to turn into?
As compared to the other deck, this looks like it's probably the moon card.
Okay. just so I have it in my notes.
But it's got Siric's mark on it,
Yeah.
and he's the
Yes.
god of deceit and lies.
Yes.
It's probably not too fond of us at the moment.
Well, not many of the bad ones are.
We should proceed with caution.
Well, I'd prefer to proceed with you guys here, but
All jokes
No,
to
you
best.
must go with caution.
Yes, let's go find Caution, and you can go with them.
hello, I am Caution. Proceed with me. Oh,
Proceed. You may now proceed. Like the greeter. Hello.
Well, I mean, at this point, let's put the card away, and I say we, still stay cautious, but let's head toward the city and see what we find out.
Dim bones, dim bones.
If
What
it's a
time is
city
it?
of the undead, then
It
we'll
is
deal
about
with it.
3 o'clock. Well, probably going on 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Do we want to limit our time there?
I'd say let's try to, if we can, no more than half a day. But
So you're okay with being there after nightfall?
I'm
preferably not after nightfall.
going
But
to consult the book,
let's see what.
not the picture, but
Oh,
the book.
you wanted me to check my sword. What was I checking the sword for?
I don't remember.
Well, we're approaching a
I don't
city
know.
full of
City
bones
full
that
of
are walking
bones.
around on the back of
Oh.
bones.
Well,
These bones, dim bones, gonna walk around.
I'm going to consult the book about Yargaril. Ya, ya, Goril,
Yar.
not Yar.
Yar. That was
it's
last
not a
time.
pirate city. We're done with pirating.
Okay, and in the book, Yargaril, the book starts to pull forward some information, much of what I just said. There's really, you do finally, kind of toward the end, you kind of skim through it. You're like, yep, yeah, I remember that. Yep, I remember that. Yep, I remember that. Toward the very end, it said, upon destruction, cursed to wonder.
Upon
Destruction, cursed to wonder.
How? Well, do you tell us this?
Yes, absolutely.
How far are we from its original location?
You're approximately maybe 100 yards from its from what you can tell, as best you can tell on the map. You're very close. You're maybe about 100 yards off of figuring, based on your calculations on your map, because you're pretty precise.
How long did it take it to get from there to there?
It takes it quite a while. I mean, it's only moving maybe a foot every minute. It's slow, but it does move. Kadeth, you pulling out your sword?
Yeah.
Okay. You pull out your sword.
Oh no, put it away! I don't want to see. Oh.
Do you hear this high pitched? No. You do feel it kind of vibrate in your hand just a little bit.
I'm gonna go ahead and do my little commune thing real quick.
Okay. You slice open your hand, put your sword down, let yourself bleed on it a little bit,
Yep.
and you see Kadeth kind of go into a trance.
Let's see, and it's 3 questions, right?
Yes.
3 yes or no questions if it's commune.
Yes or no, or short answer.
I tend to give short answer.
Um, trying to think the way to word this. Is Yagaril safe for us to enter?
You kind of get an indeterminate feeling. Basically, you kind of get the oh, nice. You kind of get the as safe as any place would be, per se, kind of feeling. Um, but you do get that calming sense and the soft whisper that and the voice that comes with it. This is I will be with you.
Okay. Um, is there something there that will help us with some of our other objectives?
Um, it it contains power.
Contained, like in past tense.
Contains as in present sense.
Contains. Okay.
Is that power something we can harness?
Can, but should.
Should or shouldn't? I didn't hear.
Should as in question, but should.
Oh, should we? So we could, but is it the best idea? Okay.
And you'll kind of come out of the trance a bit.
Well, I think there's the possibility of something there that could help us, but whether it's something we should use or not is questionable. So, caution is definitely advisable at this point.
Evangeline, do you know if this city had one of those orreries that we had to repair in the previous cities?
thinking back on any history that I read of this. Did I read anything about an orrery?
You do recall them having an orrery. Um, you recall all of the 16 cities having an orrery, but it was really like 9 through 16. Well, it started with Shaji. Shaji like enabled it, but it was just a little too late. Like, so number 8 through 16, the cities.
The later cities.
The later cities are the ones that imbued the teleportation and the shield and that. It was after the fall of the first 7. Basically, they were like, okay, we got to do something. What can we do? And every city has an orrery. Let's attach it to it. So yes, it had an orrery, but it was for timekeeping, tracking the stars, things of that nature.
Okay.
Things that magicians and scientists tend to do.
At that time, they didn't have a threat. They didn't feel a threat, whereas later they felt a threat and were trying to do something to tie the cities together. I think it propelled them. But the original cities weren't a part of that particularly. Correct?
Basically, it was basically the first 7 were destroyed before they were able to set up the teleportation and shielding and things like that that protected the other ones for some time.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna go in there, we should leave now. We've got 3 hours and 12 minutes until sunset.
Well, let's try to get done in 3 hours and 10 minutes then.
Farmer's Almanac.
Let's try to be done in 3 hours and 10 minutes if we can.
Let's be out of there in 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yes.
All right. So you head to the city.
Go into the city.
All right. You're heading to the city. The closer you get, the more you realize these buildings are kind of ruins, but these skeletons are literally crawling. It's a step, like no higher than 12 inches, 18 inches to step up onto a city street on the backs of these skeletons. It's not a hard thing to do. But you do see that it is an entire city that is traveling, even though the buildings kind of seem to be in ruin. There are places where it looks like the roads have broken apart, where you can see skeletons and things of that nature. So as you get up to the city, the voices whisper louder. I gotta look back on it again. They keep whispering. They come louder and louder. We'll take you where you'll want to go, but getting out, you'll be too slow. And who takes the first step?
I will.
All right, you step up onto the city. As soon as you hit the city street, the voices stop for you. Everybody else still hears it.
I'm following.
All right.
I'm going to immediately turn around and hold my hand up to stop you. And I'm going to try to step back off.
You hit a barrier.
We still have the connection.
You do.
Well, first I'm going to try to talk. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Verbally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
hear him.
I'm going to pull out my sword.
Okay.
Try to push it through the barrier.
It seems to hit a wall.
Okay. I think I understand what those voices meant. Getting out of here might be difficult. Doesn't mean it's impossible. But just so we're aware, it might be difficult.
I think we're on a timeline.
I agree.
So let's get going.
Let's
Biggs
do
will
it.
step in.
All right.
Well, I'm going to turn back around and start looking all around, see if I see any movement, any people, any undead, whatever it happens to be.
All right. You each kind of step up in there. As soon as you step and you cross that threshold, the voices stop. You're on the back of the city now, and you don't hear the whispers any longer.
I'm
All
going
of
to
you,
cast see invisibility.
okay. All of you kind of start looking around. You don't really see anything right off the bat. Forsyth, you catch it first. Every so often, you'll see a flick of something, almost out the corner of your eye.
I rolled a 27 on perception.
Oh, good. You kind of out the corner of your eye, and you kind of pause a moment, and you kind of look that way. Nothing happens, and you wait a moment. It flicks again. As you start to kind of pick up on it, it's definitely ethereal. And
Okay.
it's just a flick, a moment of a humanoid form in the ethereal plane that just is there and then it's gone. Evangeline, you see every so often, after you cast the see invisibility, you see every so often a flick as well. Go ahead and roll me your perception.
And detect magic also.
This whole city is glowing.
Kind of figured.
21.
21. Okay. Every so often you kind of can concentrate on it a little bit and you see a humanoid form for a split second and it's gone. Magic is everywhere in this city. You feel it very heavily across the floor. You in the spots that the city street, for lack of better terms, the city street is missing, like the cobblestone is missing,
Uh-huh.
and you see the skeleton. It glows a little bit brighter there. And as you kind of start to walk and look between buildings and whatnot, you get a sense that there is a section in the middle of the city, and all of you can kind of see the ruins kind of tower up just a little bit. You get the sense in the middle of the city is probably where that concentration of magic that you were sensing quite some time ago, you think it's there.
I'm going to start heading that direction. I want to, but as I'm walking, I want to look down through the holes in the. Like, what's the street made of first
It's
of all?
cobblestone, like large
Okay.
rocks. It's not
Doesn't
tiny
doesn't
cobblestones. It's
right, but it doesn't
larger.
seem to be like human bones or
No,
anything,
it's
or
stone.
have any embedded in it or anything. Okay.
I mean, every now and then you do see some bones like between the stones,
Well, right,
but
but
it's mostly stone.
okay. But looking through any of those little gaps that we're seeing,
You're seeing
does
a moving skeleton.
does it appear that the skeletons notice us? Okay. I'm going to keep an eye out for that, but paying more attention to what's around us as opposed to down there, but just watching for any recognition.
All right. Cadet starts to head toward the center of the city. Y'all follow?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'm bringing up the rear.
All right.
I'm going to pull the
You're in
crystal out.
arrears. Okay. Your newly acquired crystal?
The newly acquired crystal.
Okay. It hums and almost vibrates in your hand.
Okay. It doesn't seem to be doing anything different inside the city. Okay. I'm going to put it back in my pocket.
Okay.
I'm
All
just checking.
Yep. Nope. It's not doing anything different in here. You head toward the center of town. You get kind of close to this, almost a large structure. You do see a door on this structure. There seems to only be one. The building itself seems to only be maybe 30 by 30 feet. It seems to be square. And there's a door on one side. There's no first level windows, but you do see a little bit up a ways, maybe second or third story. There are some windows. As you kind of glance up a little bit more on the building, it does look like it's collapsed up maybe 4th, 5th floor, somewhere up in there. It doesn't seem to actually extend into a roof per se. That has collapsed or is just gone. Not really sure. Looking at the walls, almost all of the walls in this city are bone and mortar. There are occasionally stones in there, but it's mostly bone and mortar.
And this one is the same.
Yep.
I'll walk up and knock on the door.
You can just.
Yep.
The door will slowly creak open, and you'll hear you rang. No.
Mm. No, I knocked. Get it right.
Oh, that's right. You knock.
You're breaking and entering, okay?
Hey, I haven't entered yet.
Yep. The door
You
slowly
didn't break
creaks
anything
open.
either.
Yeah.
It's got a very high pitched screechy sound that just kind of makes the hairs on your neck stand up, and it just slowly opens until it's completely open. Looking inside, you see a darkened, what looks like 30 by 30-foot room. The only light that's coming in is from the door.
Can I see anything in there with dark vision?
Yeah,
Uh,
same.
Oh yeah, looking in, you see what looks like a set of stairs that's leading up to upper floors. You see what looks like underneath them a set of stairs that looks like leading down. Other than that, the room looks empty.
No, I think we need to go in here. Look around. Well, I see you bought out the Spirit Halloween store, so nice interior decorating.
There's nothing in here. all the decorations outside.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. Uh-huh. Up or down, guys?
I'd rather start up and work our way down.
Works for me.
Agreed.
I don't
I'll
know,
start.
but if we go down, we're bound to run into crawling skeletons.
Possibly.
That's fun.
Well, I'll start heading up.
All right, you start heading up the stairs.
Cautiously but swiftly.
All right. Keeping an eye out on things as you're heading up the stairs. Nothing happens in that other room, but as you reach the top of the stairs, you find yourself standing in what looks like a landing. It's a stairwell landing. There's multiple halls off of each side, and you kind of look down, just looking down each of the halls. There's several doors down each hall. It's lit. It is not, does not look decayed or ruined. You could easily have placed this in your house, the Stroldux
Is it
Manor. However, it looks modern and new and
is it
fresh.
larger than it should be?
Oh yes.
So we're in the TARDIS.
Bigger on
Yep.
the inside than it is on the outside.
It's bigger on the inside.
All right, where's the Time Lord?
All right. I'll
Who?
do eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yes.
And I'll pick a
Faster.
hallway.
Okay, you all kind of come up behind him.
As long as it's
You all,
not the master.
you all see the same thing, and you're gonna just pick a hallway.
Unless there's one that looks like there's activity or that looks like a best choice. Otherwise, I'm just
No.
picking one at random. Well, I'll pick
Okay.
the one to my left.
All right, you pick the one to your left, and you start to kind of walk down it and checking. I don't know what you're checking. You're just gonna walk down the hall.
I'm going to watch for, well, actually, I'm going to kind of pull either Evangeline or Forsyth and be like, I don't want to step on anything that's going to kill me. But we should check the left, check any doors and all that.
Sure.
Look for
All right.
secrets.
Yep.
I will search any doors you want me to.
All right. Go ahead and roll me your investigation, Forsyth.
I will assist.
All right.
11.
You can roll
Oh,
it with advantage.
assist.
Yep.
23.
All right. With a 23, as you're going down the hall, you are checking the doors. All the doors are locked, as far as you can tell. As you're kind of walking down the hall, just checking everything. Nothing on the floor seems to be a triggering trap. The doors themselves don't seem to have any traps on them either, but they are locked. But you feel like, with your high investigation and your knowledge of traps and layouts of keeps and things like that, because you did some breaking and entering as you were growing up. Something ain't right about this. You feel like y'all's walked into a trap, but there's
Yeah.
nothing that's like been triggered.
Right.
Let's see what I've done.
I'm gonna look for triggers.
You look around, you don't see any triggers. As you kind of travel down the hall, you see at the end of the hall what looks to be another landing.
I look up too.
It's got a very nice vaulted ceiling that kind of comes up to a peak. It's a very intricate little
Dead
ceiling
man's peak.
with some balusters, banisters. I don't remember the cross beams kind of going across it. It's very nice, very well made. The further down the hall you go, you start to pick up that the hall is going to end at a landing.
Right. Gonna land somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to land somewhere.
Okay, guys, this is gonna be dangerous. I don't know if you want to. If you want me to go down in a different form and eat up anything that's coming at us, I can do that.
Do you tell us like what you felt?
Nervous. Something's wrong here. I can't put my finger on it.
I
But
walked back to the landing that we came from. Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Forsyth. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
that's okay.
All right. Do the rest of you follow him? Do you continue onward? Do you stay put? What are the rest of you doing? Fix is going to
I'm
walk
gonna
back to the.
Oh, we
Hey,
split the party.
Oh.
as he walks back, I'm going forward.
Okay. As he walks back, you go forward.
Right.
As you
I'm-
guys.
I'll stay with Forsyth, just
But
to
I am
be on
ready.
the safe side.
Well.
I
So
am ready
before
to
I
change
moved,
form.
I would tell Forsyth, I think we're in a maze.
I was
That's
wondering
amazing.
that initially.
It's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's
I believe
amazing.
these are illusionary.
Okay.
Okay, so you change form and you kind of head on forward. Fix heads on back.
I
Cadet?
haven't changed form yet.
Oh, okay. You're
I'm ready
waiting.
to change form.
Oh, you're ready. Okay. You
Yeah.
walk forward. Cadet, you're following Forsyth. Evangeline, are you standing there going, "Don't split the party"?
No,
And
I will stay with the ground control.
With ground
And the
control.
form I'm ready to take is an earth elemental.
Okay. All right. Whose ground control is that? Fix? Are you going with Fix, or are you leaving him off on his own?
No,
We're gonna see if
I'll
we
go
catch
with
up with it.
Fix.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull my sword
All right.
and basically just whisper to it, point me in the right direction.
All right. As Fix, as you're heading back, you see from across the landing figures approaching. Forsyth and Cadet, as you head on toward the landing,
We see
You
Fix standing in the distance.
you see figures coming toward the landing.
Okay.
If you continue to approach, you will begin to recognize each other.
Yeah. Hi, guys. We're back.
So, how many ways
Okay.
out of this landing were there?
There is about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 halls.
So we've already tried technically 2 of them.
The stairs down, are they still there?
Or is that somewhere behind us or in front of us?
Well, you see a set of stairs going down.
Well, we came into this, we just left in one direction. Fix and Evangeline would know which direction that was. We just came back in another direction.
It's wrapping
They would
around.
be able to
in a-
eliminate 2 of those paths right there.
Is another direction just a one direction cover band?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
one
so.
direction.
Yeah.
Oh,
And here we are with the secrets, right? Anyway,
I broke Joe.
Joe, stand here. We're going to take the other 3 directions.
What does your sword say, Kadath?
I'm gonna slowly turn towards each of the hallways and see if there's any sense from
You
it.
get the feeling of up, down, left, right, left.
Okay, so we need to go this way, then back, then this way, then back.
How's my head?
Your head no longer hurts.
Okay.
You're where you're supposed to be, or you're where you wanted to be.
My concern is that rather than going in a specific direction, the key to this is finding a specific room.
Yeah, that's kind of what my thought was with like direction is like, what direction should we go to get to where we need to be?
I am going to.
That's what I'm kind of thinking to my sword.
Do I feel
as
like
I'm
I'm
turning.
communing with nature here?
You can certainly try, but there's nothing real natural about where you're at.
Okay, then I'll hold off on that.
Not a whole lot of nature going on.
As a dwarf, and their sort of inclination towards stonecraft, and I'm looking at the stone, is there any differences at all?
Looking at the stone, no, they all look the same.
That's your magical detection. Does it give you any clue?
I'll detect magic again and see if anything's different in any particular direction.
Nope, it all glows.
Even up and down.
Even up and down, it all glows.
And nothing specific from the sword.
The sword itself seems to be humming a little bit.
Well, I'm going to play hot and cold with it. I'm going to do my best, Inigo Montoya. Close my eyes and let the sword guide me.
You're going to hit a wall. No.
We need to go through this wall. Oh.
You get the sense that the sword actually wants you to go down.
I'm going to start walking that way.
I'll follow.
All right. You go.
I will follow.
And I'm holding the sword out in front of me at this point.
Well, most likely.
All right, you begin to go.
Follow you.
Not qualified that far.
You begin to go down the stairs, and as you get about halfway down the stairs, you realize you're going to be coming upon a landing.
Okay.
Just like the landing you just left.
That's fine. Gonna keep seeing what direction it's pulling me at this point.
It is still trying to get you to go downward. You feel that it's wanting to go downward. Roll me you may either choose religion or arcana.
Definitely religion.
Okay.
+2 versus +8. 17 for religion.
Okay. With your 17, you're realizing even though you've gone down maybe 3 or 4 flights of stairs and you keep landing on the same landing,
is there small changes?
There is no changes. You get the sense that directionally speaking, where it wants you to go is down. But
Straight down.
you're stuck in this kind of illusion thing almost. Trap, Forsyth. It's like, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I knew this.
I'm gonna do this.
You have to figure out how to get down.
I'm gonna take my sword, hold it point down with both hands, and stab it into the floor.
You hit stone.
Okay, I'm gonna try and aim between stones.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out the crystal.
Okay.
I'm going to gaze into it intently. I may even sit down on the stone that Kadeth is stabbing.
Roll
I'll
a
stab
dexterity
around
check.
her.
Oh.
Maybe not the exact stone, but the same floor.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and aim between stones.
Okay. Hitting basically the mortar or whatever's
Right.
holding it together. Okay.
If I can essentially I'm gonna try and chip away at some of that and see if I can get one of the stones out of the floor.
Okay. You knock and you chip for quite some time. What are you doing, Evangeline? You're just gonna sit on a stone? Oh
I'm
no, your crystal
gazing
ball.
into the ball.
She's looking at her crystal.
Looking at her
Yes.
crystal.
And
I want to be a seer.
an
You wanna be a
unpolished
seer.
crystal ball, right?
An unpolished crystal ball, an uncut crystal ball.
Yeah. It's a crystal lump.
Staring at your crystal lump. It's really hard to decipher. You're kind of staring at it. You start to see doors open and close, open, close. You see halls, stairs, doors, stairs. Like you're really not sure what it's trying to show you exactly. Kadeth, you managed to get a stone kind of loosened up.
Okay.
The
I'm
carpet's
gonna
kind of tore up at this point.
pull the stone up out of the spot.
All right.
Is there just more stone beneath it, or
You see when you pull up the stone, you see a skeleton.
interesting?
Oh, fun. A moving one, right?
Does the sword still seem to be pointing downward?
Mm-hmm.
Question.
Yeah.
Forsyth has true sight, which should see through illusions. Does he have
Right.
anything? Does he see anything different?
No. Which is really throwing him off.
Well, no, it's not throwing me off because I wouldn't
Well,
know
that's
what
true.
else I was looking at.
That's true. But no, you do not. Which
How's
is
Fix still with his time?
Yeah,
he's
Fix.
saying
What's time doing?
running around in the same spot over and over again is taking too long. That's what your thought on time is.
Nothing weird
That's
though
it.
with the time.
No, you don't have a headache or anything. It's not like you've jumped out of time.
While they're doing that, so essentially at the same time, I'm gonna walk down the hall. I'm gonna inspect the doors. Are there any that are different metal, different locks, different doorknobs, different grain of the wood?
You do, taking a closer look at them, start to see some differences. Roll me an investigation.
Can I use intimidation instead?
I will intimidate this door. I will hold up my axe and threaten to chop it down.
Investigation.
Yes. What about insight?
No.
Okay.
Insight's more on
Aw.
people or animals.
I don't know. Is this a living creature?
That's
Good
a question for the
question.
DM. All right.
Does he appear threatening?
$23. And I'm using, and tell me if it wouldn't work, I would be using guidance.
Yes, you could use guidance on this.
Okay. So 23.
That's a good enough roll. I'll save my flash of G.
Yeah. So 24.
Hmm.
With a 24, you are going to see 8 doors.
Mhm.
4 on either side of the hall. For which direction have I not done? Okay. And on those 8 doors, I'm just going to say on left, on right.
Mhm.
You see those symbols.
I'm going to open the doors and up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. Oh,
Okay, those are matching like
It's a
pie
cheat
piece
code.
with the rest of a pie
It's a cheat
thing.
code. Gotta cheat my way out of this. Yes, it does look like triangles that would complete a
Fit
pie
into
in
a
essence.
circle.
That is kind of what they look like.
How big is the hole that I was able to get with just the one stone? Like, is it pretty good size? Okay.
Now it's more brick-ish because this is a building's floor basically, so it's more
Mm,
brickish.
Can I reach down through it?
You can. Are you gonna
shake
try?
hands with the skeleton.
I'm gonna
Shake
reach.
hands.
I'm gonna first put my sword down. Push my sword down through it. See if there's a barrier there. Basically,
Um,
like the
there is
barrier at the
not
edge
a.
of the city.
You do not hit a barrier right away.
Okay.
Um, are you trying to avoid the skeleton or you don't care?
Avoid initially.
Okay. You do not hit a barrier. You're able to push the sword through the area of the skeleton. It seems to be working around it, per se.
So like it's avoiding the sword
No, you just
almost,
are.
or,
You
or
are avoiding the
I'm avoiding
skeleton.
skeleton enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. I want to get down and take a closer look at the skeleton itself then. Is it human? Like, was it a human elf, whatever, humanoid,
Yeah, it's definitely as you looking at
medium-sized
it,
humanoid?
it looks like the humanoids that was carrying the city. It is humanoid as you
Okay.
look through the hole.
Actually, when I was pushing the sword down through it, did it feel like the sword wanted me to go further?
I mean, the sword is telling you what you need. It needs to be down. The direction is down. So yes, it's telling you go down, but there's nothing here except for the crawling skeletons, and you're seeing
And
it
the
cross
ground
the
underneath.
yeah, you're seeing it cross the ground underneath. You are seeing the ground move slightly.
Hmm.
Ian's playing a game.
I know. I just heard a weird sound. I was like, "What?" Uh, well, I'm really stumped. I'm gonna take a moment, take a breath, go see what Fix is finding.
And I'm sending images of the pie shapes.
I want to go take a closer look at those myself.
All right, you go to the pie shapes. You see on one
You're
side
muted,
looks
Dad.
like oh
I'm following Kadeth,
okay
keeping him from hurting himself.
right. On
Sure.
one set of doors is the circles that are missing like the triangle out of it, and on the other set of doors are triangles.
Are they
They all
across
seem
from
to
each
be.
other?
They do not appear to be across from each other. No.
Okay. Are they in the same order, like as you go down the hallway? Like the ones that would match up, are they in the same order?
No, it seems to be random.
I have a feeling, much like the hallways, one leads to the other without necessarily being exactly what we think it's going to be.
That's possible. One way to find out.
Yep, there is. Do you want one of us to stay here?
Yeah.
All right, I'll stay here and you guys venture forth.
I'm gonna pick. I'll go ahead and try the first one.
Okay.
Just at this point, out
I
of
will-
pure curiosity,
I will
see if I
stand
come
near
out the
I
door.
expect them to come out.
Yeah.
So you just try the first one.
Yeah.
It's locked.
Okay.
I'll use my thieves tool.
They're all locked.
That'll work.
That's you figured that out as you were going through them the first time.
Oh, okay.
And I will attempt to pick the lock.
All right, you pick a the
I'll
lock.
give her help.
All right.
I do have plus 12, by the way.
All right.
A 15.
Okay, with a 15, you fool around with it a little bit. You unlock it. Takes you a little bit. Forsyth is watching you going, no, don't do it that way. Go this way.
Mostly he's
Just
laughing.
turn it!
So it takes you a minute. You do unlock it, and when you open the door, you see the back side of another door.
Is it
I'm
locked?
gonna
You try to push it, it doesn't budge. There's no handle.
Oh,
There
I'm
doesn't
gonna
seem to be a
unlock
locking.
I'm gonna unlock the door that I expect to be
For it to
the
match.
the
for
matching
the
pie.
match.
Okay.
Or the
What-
matching pie piece.
What's your lock pick?
29.
29. Not a problem. You get in there, it's unlocked. You open the door.
Yeah.
You see
And I'm an idiot.
Evangeline.
Hi.
Hey!
All right. Let's prop those doors open
All right.
and try the next set that looks like it should open.
All right. Basically, I just went with the one on the left, the first one on the left for Cadet.
Right.
He tried that. Evangeline unlocked it. She opened the door.
Right.
It ended up being the number 4 door on the right
Because it was the one with the matching symbol.
because it was the one with the matching symbol.
Right. The complement symbol, we'll
Yep.
call it that.
So
Yep.
basically, this hallway is a bunch of doors that remind me of like old cartoons.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Haunted Mansion,
I got
the latest
haunted
version of it.
Scooby,
Yep.
Go in one
Scooby
door,
and
come out.
Shaggy running away from the
Yeah.
monster.
All
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Figuring
Okay.
out, both of you have now unlocked one of these doors. You
Right.
guys can fairly easily unlock all the others, so I'm going to assume all the others are unlocked at this point.
Right.
What do you do?
Okay.
Do
Can I have
any
all
of
four
those
doors
somewhere
propped
other
open?
than the other?
Do what?
Do any of them go someplace other than the other doorway?
No, they're both still standing in the hall. They kind of wave at each
No, the
other.
doors.
No, all of
Like
them.
if we open
Like-
all the doors.
If we
Oh,
open
when you-
all the doors.
If you open all the doors, staying in the hall, you see the other door. Like if, 2 people open the opposite doors, you're going to see each other.
Right.
Staying in the hallway, going to the next door, you still see each other.
There's
I'm
20 minutes
assuming
wasted.
nobody's crossed any thresholds.
Not,
No,
Not
not
yet.
really. But
not yet.
But you're propping
I
open the
think-
doors as you go?
yes, we are
I'm using
propping
the
open the
batons.
doors.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Anyone want to try going from one door through the other?
Yes, I'm going to try the one that has the pie piece pointing down.
Pie piece pointing down.
Right. The apple pie.
All right. That's the second door on the left.
Okay, I'm going to walk through it.
The second door on the left, you walk through it, and you find yourself in a hallway where all the doors are open, but nobody else is there.
Interesting.
He does not walk out of the other door
Right.
for the other three
Understood.
of you.
I'm gonna walk
Understood.
down to the. I'm gonna look back and say, "Stay there," and I'm gonna walk down to where the center room should be.
Piece.
Okay. Then you
And
come to a landing.
is there a hole in the floor?
There is not.
What's my sword saying?
Your sword says to go down. What you need is
Go
down.
down, Moses.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to where I came through and walk back
Okay.
through and
Walk
basically
back through.
describe
Okay.
what I'm seeing.
He describes to you exactly what you've been seeing, only none of you were there.
But we don't disbelieve him much.
Yeah.
Well, it does seem to be a different place, at least. So that's more than what we've gotten thus far. The doors are propped open to the best of our ability. Like I took a hammer and baton and like jammed them open.
All right.
And I say we go through and try to go down, see if we end up the same, and if we need to go through other doors, that may be a specific sequence, sort of like I'll look to foresight, like picking a lock and having to set the pins and tumblers in a certain sequence.
Well, my sword
Right.
keeps saying go down.
I think it's speaking literally down below this trap or this illusion, this maybe even
Before we
dimensional
move
pain.
away from here, I'm going to step through the door, a different door,
Okay.
and see if I end up in the hallway with my party.
You're gonna try a different door. You step through. You end up in a hall with all the doors open. None of your party is there.
I'm gonna tell her stay there for a second, and I'm gonna walk back through the one that I originally walked through and see if we're in the same hall now.
Okay. Which door did you step through?
The one with the I went through the one pointing down.
The pie piece pointing down.
Yeah.
What did you step through, Evangeline?
What's the next one?
The pie piece pointing left.
Okay, I went through to pie piece pointing left.
No, you do not see each other.
Interesting.
I think you need to link the doors,
Wait a minute.
the complementary doors.
I'm gonna yell through it. Try the one with the pie that this pie piece would fit in.
Okay.
I'll take a coin and I'll toss it through that door that he said to try.
There you go. Good
Knapp,
thinking.
you see a coin fly out of a door.
Okay, that worked. So maybe the two that are linked come to the same place in each case.
And then I'll toss a coin through the opposite one from where Evangeline went.
Evangeline, you see a coin fly through a door.
What kind of coin is it worth picking up?
It's a copper.
It's a throwaway.
It's a copper.
I mean, gold is basically throwaway at this point.
Find a copper, pick it up, and all day long you'll have good luck.
We could use it at the moment.
There's 4 different doors. Too bad we don't use a light. Well,
Wait a minute.
I would take a copper, a silver, a gold, and I'm assuming we have platinum at this point.
Sure.
Hold on.
I'll toss one of each, so we
What?
know what is what.
Okay.
What door am I? What in the hallway that I'm in now?
Yes.
What door is it that I just came through?
You just came through the first door on the right.
Which
If you-
is
if you
which
look at
symbol?
If you look at the door, it's the pie that's missing the down pie piece.
Okay.
It's the one that would match your door.
Gonna stick my head through the down pie piece in this new hallway.
In this new hallway?
Yeah.
All right, you look and you see your butt hanging out the other door.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the original hallway where everybody else
I gotta
is.
go on a diet.
I'm going to go back to the original hallway that everybody's in. And I'm going to try each of the other 2 pie pieces. And basically just stick my sword through and see if I see my sword come out the door I would expect on either one of those 2.
Um, yes. So, because all the doors are open, they're jammed
Right.
open.
Exactly.
You put your sword through one door, you will see it come out the matching door on the far side. All of the doors seem to be in the same order, no matter what door you go through. They
Right.
don't change orders.
But what I'm trying to cement is it basically 4 hallways? Each of these door pairs leads to a specific hallway of the 4.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Like no matter
Yeah.
which one you go through on which hallway, it always leads to the same of those 4 hallways.
Now the question is,
Again,
which,
Essentially,
is
yes.
that they're
Okay.
all of
Which
them
down?
are matching.
which down should we take? Because we need
That's
to go down.
So what
an
Fix is
interesting
going to do,
question.
he's going to walk through the door with the down arrow that
Okay.
Kadath went through. And then he's going to go and walk down the stairs.
All right. You come to a landing.
Same landing
Same landing.
with everyone there.
You take a look, and you see Kadath.
Okay. So we're still stuck. There's got to be, my thought is there is a sequence to go through these, for lack of a better word, pocket dimensions to get out.
Right.
Right.
We need to figure out the sequence. Thinking back, is there any, like when we were walking through the city in all of our readings, was there these symbols or any sort of directions or anything like that in
Cardinality.
Cardinality? Yeah.
Cardinality.
Is
Can
there
I see the symbols
anything?
again?
Like
Because I didn't see it the first time.
Yeah, I did the up and down arrows instead of the actual symbols for me, so that I knew which one was where.
I'm going to recommend going in the order, going with the up, then going with the down, left and right, coming in on the different hallways each time, and then go down from there.
And see what we get.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try it.
So you're gonna
Well,
follow the
real quick,
symbols on the left?
before we do that, like is there anything in our memory of symbols or cardinality in the history of this city?
In the history
Or
of the
Cyric.
city. Cyric, this is a very definite trap that Cyric would lay to get you stuck, to make you lost. Lies and deception.
Okay.
People could be lost in these kind of mazes forever. It's very typical of Cyric because he likes this kind of chaos. As far as cardinality of the city itself, it was probably the second major city. It was top of its class. Top of, above all. It was the number 1 city, even though it was second built. It was the number 1 city. It was the third to fall.
Question.
The last
What are the
to
doors
actually
made of?
die.
What are the doors made of?
Wood. A very nice heavy wood.
Heavy wood, but heavy woods can still be carved.
It can be.
Okay, when we go through the first door, the one with the up arrow,
Yep.
I'm going to make a mark on the door.
Okay.
That's going to be the number, just a one single mark, a 1.
All right.
Yeah, basically mark the numbers on each door as we go through.
Right. When we go through the down arrow, I'm going to mark a number 2. Two ones. And the left arrow, 3, and on the Right arrow 4.
So
And as we're going through, I'm gonna see if those marks are still there
Right.
in each hallway.
so top of its. Sorry, I wanted to like the sequence there seemed important. First or top of its class,
It was the
second to
second to be built,
built, third to fall.
top of its class, third to fall, last to die.
Wait. Top
Second to be built,
or second to be built. Okay.
top of its class. Third to fall, last to die.
Hmm.
Last to die.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute.
Sanji's not dead yet. Was this talking about the city?
Or the doors.
Was this a saying about this? Is that what it was?
You are recalling in all of its history. You have read about it being the second to be built, quickly rising to the top above all others in science and technology and magic. It was the third to fall to destruction. It was imploded. Cursed to wander forever. Last to die.
Okay, I can link symbols potentially with three of the four, but not the fourth. Really not the second one. Oh wait, because that wouldn't work.
All right.
Dang
I
it!
think I might have to give them a week to think about this.
You think?
We're
GM,
frying our brains on the stream.
Yeah, because it is 10:15. I'm taxing their brains.
Yeah.
so GM, can you put that that little
Put it in the Discord
thing in the Discord?
Yeah.
and the picture of the
And
symbols.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I will do that.
The
for you
symbols
guys.
and what order they're in.
I will also put that on the Town Crier on our website for those of you who read our Town Crier.
And you can all tell us what it means.
Yeah, tell us what to do. I don't understand.
I should be able to figure this out.
Or we're going to be stuck here for a very long time, and the stream's going to get very repetitive.
I have ideas, but I need to
All right. I'm
figure
going to
some
leave
of it
them
out.
to this, and this is where we're going to end for tonight. Leave you stuck in a maze of doors that leads to different halls and never
Doors
always
to
in the
nowhere.
same hall twice. It's very, yeah.
We didn't find a black candle anywhere, did we?
You did not find a black candle, but that would be totally up Zurich's alley. All right.
Yeah, it would.
You might find a black candle later. I don't know. We'll
Does
see.
it have to be lit by a virgin?
No, it's just if we find it, it's going to be funny for anybody who makes their saving throw.
for anybody. Yeah. So we're gonna leave
It'll
it there for
probably
tonight.
be a wisdom saving throw.
It is.
Yep.
I got that.
It is.
I'm okay with that.
So, all right. So I'm going to leave you there for tonight. Thank you for staying with us, viewers. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we do come live. Although, if you follow our schedule, you will know. Be sure to like and share this video so that YouTube algorithms and stuff work. Check out our website, dndaddjokes.com, to learn of events where mostly Rhonda will be showing up. But I don't know. I might try to make it to one or two. So check it out and join us at a convention because that's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
I'm missing anything. All right. Then we will see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.